Good morning. Today on Spotlight, inside the Live6 Alliance, a neighborhood-based community planning and development organization working to advance economic opportunities and quality of life in Northwest Detroit. And get ready for a milestone celebration of an iconic downtown building. Affectionately called the People's House, the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center turned 70. Our guest, Dr. Antoine Garibaldi, founding chairman of Live6 Alliance and president emeritus of the University of Detroit Mercy. Caitlin Murphy, executive director of the Live6 Alliance, and Sharon Madison, chair of the Detroit-Wayne Joint Building Authority. It's Sunday, September the 14th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Garibaldi. When you arrived on the scene as the new young president of the University of Detroit Mercy, what was your reaction, not to UDM, but to the surrounding area? Because you've written about it in a book you've got coming out.
That's right. Well, we were having challenging times, not just for the university, but also for the city. This is right after the Great Recession in June of 2011. And it was pretty apparent to me that in order to enroll more students, get our alumni back, and also to be more engaged with the community, we need to do a great deal in terms of cleaning up around Livernois and also 6 Mile. So having been in urban areas before in Washington, D.C., and New Orleans, and also in Erie, Pennsylvania, I knew that one way to do that.
Hey, we got to do something.
We had to do something, and we had to connect with the businesses as well as the neighborhood. And we're fortunate to have a School of Architecture that had just started its program on economic development for students who wanted to be involved not just in architecture but also in community development. And we had some great information from the residents of the Fitzgerald neighborhood about what they wanted to see to improve their neighborhood.
Caitlin, reflect back for me. You just recently had a big festival over the weekend celebrating the past, but also looking ahead to the future. Let's look back at the past for a second. How far has Live6 come in that area, that district, in the last 10 years?
Absolutely. I would say that the West McNichols and Livernois corridors have both come a long way. We're seeing new businesses open up, pretty much 2 or 3 every year. Decreasing vacancy along the corridor. We just received a recent designation from the state of Michigan through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So we are now a select level Michigan Main Street community. So there's a lot happening that is really going to keep accelerating business growth and some new opportunities for residents as well.
What's the vision? Either one of you can take that. 10 years from now, where do you see that district?
Well, 10 years from now, as we celebrate our 10-year now, one of the areas of focus was on placemaking, on an increased numbers of businesses in the area, also more stability in that neighborhood. I see a great deal more happening over the next 10 years. The Michigan Main Street designation really is helpful to us. And also we have more interest of people who want to live in the neighborhood and then also want to create more businesses in the neighborhood. So we talk a lot about what Livernois was back in the 60s as the avenue of fashion. And in many ways now, as McNichols and also Livernois has come to life, both of those areas have room for that kind of expansion.
Caitlin, you've had 6 pillars on this. Of those 6 pillars, is one any more important than the other, or are they all pretty much equal and they all have to work together to accomplish the overall goals?
Absolutely. I would say all of the pillars work in coordination with one another. We always say that we cannot have a thriving corridor unless our residents who live in the adjacent communities also have opportunities to accelerate growth and be a part of the change that they're seeing. We are very excited because I think not only do we want to see more businesses, and we know that those will likely come to our district, but there's a number of new opportunities that that we're seeing for the Live6 Alliance to assist legacy residents with things like home repair. We have a new heirs property program where we're assisting households who may be experiencing tangled title. There's some tax relief work that we're doing. And so success for us over the next 10 years really looks like assisting more families and partnering with more businesses and local stakeholders to advance a shared goal and mission.
All right, we need to get to a quick little break. We'll come right back. We'll pick up on that. I want to talk about Kresge and some of your other big funders and what they brought to this initiative. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spotlight. Dr. Garibaldi, what gave you the impetus to write this book? And you write quite eloquently about the role that Kresge played in all of this and a reach out that you made early on to this.
Well, sure. I'd like to say that on the first day that I arrived on June 1st of 2011, I met Rip Rapson, who had Minnesota connections as I did through my University of Minnesota graduation. And Rip was fortunate enough to be friends with many of my friends in the Twin Cities. And so we instantly developed a good friendship. He also had been the deputy mayor of Minneapolis, which many people didn't know about.
Right.
But when I asked,
then we stole him.
That's right.
We got him and made him stay in Detroit.
Thankfully, that's been a great asset to Michigan as well as to the city of Detroit. But he's such a visionary, and I really wanted some basic assistance. Live6 Alliance was not in the cards at that time. It took us 4 years to create Live6 Alliance, but along the way, he provided the Kresge Foundation provided a lot of assistance with Wendy Lewis Jackson, Laura Trudeau, who helped out in order to get small things done, like improvements within the neighborhood that we wanted to see that made a very, very big difference. And so Kresge has contributed millions of dollars into this effort, bringing in consultants who spent time with, not just with me and the members of the university community, but also with individuals who could bring their assets to what it would look like if we had an organization such as Live6 Alliance in order to really make a really big impact on this particular neighborhood. And at that time, many people were talking about their investments in Midtown, and certainly their commitment to the west side of the city of Detroit was really so helpful, both for us and also for Marigrove, and also the nearby residential areas.
Halen, a twofold question. You oftentimes hear that small business is the backbone of America, the backbone of any community. Would you say that also is the case in this Live6 Alliance, even though you have some of the big funders, but you've got a lot of small businesses intimately involved in this too?
Absolutely. I say all the time that the small business commercial community is the backbone of our community, the lifeblood. They really are doing what they can to accelerate local economies, provide jobs to residents, and make us a viable, walkable shopping and retail district. So we're excited because there's new opportunities for us to support small businesses in new ways. We're looking at increasing our local businesses' web and digital presence. We know that search engine optimization, e-commerce are really key factors that will contribute to businesses being competitive in the local digital marketplace. And so we're doing what we can to make sure that businesses are connected to those opportunities to scale and grow as well.
And what the second part of the question, what are you hearing from people who live and work in the neighborhood?
There are obviously people that have strong opinions and will tell us when we
Not
need to improve on some areas, and we take that very very well and to heart and listen into what residents want to see for their neighborhood. I think what we've learned is that we're on the right track, but we need to continue, asking the right questions, seeing not just how people want to be involved, but really designing our programs and initiatives so that there's easy entry points. We've been planning in the neighborhood for some time, so we're ready to just, move things into high gear and action, and are working with, I would say on a weekly basis, we bring in close to 70 or 80 local residents that live within our surrounding communities for things like block clubs, events, opportunities to connect to resources. We partner with the City of Detroit often, connecting folks to land bank resources, various city departments. And so we're really that touch point because we're also located on the West McNichols corridor.
And you got involved in this as a student at the University of Detroit Mercy?
Yes, I'm a graduate of the Masters of Community Development program out of the School of Architecture and Community Development, and I worked with the Live6 Alliance when it was a small emerging organization, only 1 or 2 years old, and have been with the organization ever since.
So you never know where those degrees are going to lead you. Dr. Garibaldi, only got about 30 seconds left. You get the final word. When's the book coming out?
Well, I hope
And the book, we should say, is not just about Live6.
Right.
It's about your terms as president of the University of Detroit Mercy.
That's right, and also Gannon University. Lots of parallels there between. I'm hoping within about a year. A number of chapters have already been written. A lot of polishing to do. But one of the things that I really wanted to do was to show how this came about. Many people helped. I give credit to Mayor Bing, who was extremely helpful in the very, very beginning. We went through the city's municipal bankruptcy during this period of time. And many of those funders, like Kresge and many other partners, never left us and said, we really want to make a change and we really want to help you to make this investment into this community.
And it continued through the Duggan administration.
And it continued through the Duggan administration.
And now you're getting ready to have another administration. We don't know who yet, but
That's right.
Someone's getting ready to be on deck. All right. Thank you so much for coming in, sharing all this information, and keep us posted on all this and let us know when the book's ready to come out and we'll be able to show everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And when Spotlight returns, we'll sit down with Sharon Madison, chair of the Detroit-Wayne Joint Building Authority. We'll be right back. All right, you wear a lot of different hats.
I do.
But you're currently wearing one where you've been doing it for a few years. We'll get into that a little bit with the Detroit-Wayne Building Authority. You've got a big celebration coming up.
We do. We have a tremendous celebration coming up. The Detroit-Wayne Joint Building Authority is celebrating its birthday. 70 years since we opened up that facility, and also it's been about 70 years since we dedicated the Marshall Field sculpture, The Spirit of Detroit. So we're having a birthday party. This,
What's it going to entail?
well,
It's on the 23rd.
it's on the 23rd of September between 12 and 3 o'clock that day. And we will have bands, we'll have an art exhibition, we will have some brief speeches, very brief, and we'll have cupcakes.
Hey, cupcakes always
yeah, you have to have
a good thing.
you have to have cupcakes at a birthday party.
Cupcakes or it's not a birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Why is it so important to do this? And let's get a little bit into the iconic history of that building.
Well, the Detroit-Wayne Joint Building Authority owns, operates, and maintains what is now known as the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center.
Right there on
We
Woodward.
right on Woodward. We like to call it the People's House.
Right.
It was the first building authority in the state of Michigan, legislated by the state of Michigan. And so what we do is we own, operate, and maintain it for the offices of the city of Detroit and the courts of Wayne County.
Okay. Good. Building in good shape after 70 years?
It's in, we've maintained it very well. There's still work that we need to do because, 70 years old, you got to do some things.
Right.
We want to replace the windows, which there are more than 4,000 windows in that building.
Ouch.
And so, yeah, so the price tag is an ouch, but, but that is something that we want to do because, it's been 70 years since they were there. And so, but we've done a lot of environmental things to upgrade the building and to keep it sustainable and also efficient. So we're very proud of the fact that the building has won numerous TOBY awards from the Building and Owners Management Association, which is an international organization, and which we also believe that we're probably the only municipal building of its age that has received consistent recognition.
And you attribute that to what? Just good hard work?
Yeah, so I attribute that to some of my predecessors that were, Patricia Cole, who preceded me as the chair, was the chair for 25 years, okay. And she and her boards really did everything that they could to maintain that building. Gregory McDuffie, who is the former executive director and also a former board member, directed the activities there for a very long time. And we were very intentional in our planning, and we continue to be that in terms of looking at how do we maintain and upgrade this building to current standards. And so we have done numerous improvements as it relates to ADA, numerous improvements as it deals with energy efficiency, and just making it a better place for the citizens. So we also have people notice that, language interpretation, so that regardless of what your language is, if you come into that building, that there is an interpretation on the signage that will get you to where you need to go.
You've been chair for roughly how long?
I'm in my 9th year right now as the chair, yes.
All right,
and so, we bring, each board member brings a different expertise. So in my expertise, as you know, I come from engineers, architects, planners, program and construction managers, and so that is the business that I've been in all of my life. And so I bring that expertise to this work. But we also have Tom Scott, who has been very active in union work and as a mediator, and is also, as part of the operators union, I believe at one time. So we do have different types of expertise that board members bring to the authority, and it really has benefited the citizens of Wayne County and the city of Detroit.
All right, we're going to let you catch a little breath here, take a quick break. We'll come right back. I want to talk a little bit more about the celebration and also about some things that you do that are important to veterans in our community. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spotlight, talking to Detroit entrepreneur and businesswoman Sharon Madison. A little bit more about the celebration on the 23rd, totally open to the public. Anybody can come down and be a part of it?
Yeah, we're saying come one, come all to the City County building on September 23rd from 12 to 3. And we'll have entertainment, we have bands, we have visual arts. It's going to be, a real celebration of the 70-year facility and all that has occurred during that 70 years.
You mentioned earlier the spirit of Detroit. I passed by it the other day when we went down to the baseball game and we were walking around downtown. It looks like it's in really good shape, and you fairly recently did some renovation and stuff on it, didn't you?
We did a complete restoration of the spirit last year. It does require, we are the fiduciaries responsible for that iconic image of Detroit.
It is Detroit.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And so and that's one reason people often ask, well, why can't we put a T-shirt on it?
It gets pretty political, doesn't it, in terms of what people want to put on and what you all as the caretakers have to say, you can do this, but you can't do this, and certain things that you just cannot do to that iconic statue. One, because you could hurt yourself if you do something that you aren't supposed to be doing too, but also it's the care and the taking of it and the respect for it.
Yeah, we take our responsibility as the fiduciaries and the protectors of the spirit of Detroit very, very seriously. And so every time a T-shirt goes on or off of it, there's some damage to the patina. And so, we have the authority has very strict rules on when and who, and we've sort of basically distilled it to winning sport teams.
Right. You got to win a big one.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we have made a few exceptions at the request of either the mayor's office, city council, county exec, or county commission. So but they're very rare that we do that, because every time that we do, it's a very big cost. And we want it, it's been around for 70 years, we want it to be around for perpetuity. So that's what we're trying to do. And when we did the restoration last year, we also found that there were spots where water was weeping through it. So, we have to periodically do either partial restoration to it, and almost every time that there's something on it, we have to do something.
You have worked very hard to make sure that veterans are recognized in the different branches of the service. How so?
There are hundreds of thousands of veterans in the state of Michigan, and we're very proud of the service of our veterans, and we wanted to honor them. So a few years ago, we decided to create a memorial to all the branches of the military, and we call that the Veterans Plaza, and it's right where the flag is raised every day. So 7 years ago, we started to have services on the anniversary date of each branch of the military. And so we had a big celebration back in June for the Army. The next week, September 18th, and we invite people to come to that as well, is the Navy. The Air Force, I'm sorry. The Air Force is the 18th of September. And in October, we have the Navy, and November, the Marines, and Veterans Day. So on all these days, and Space Force is in December, so Space Force is the newest one.
Okay.
But we do honor each branch of the military, and we also are very excited to have different veterans groups come to these flag raisings. And at the flag raisings, we have a junior ROTC unit from either Detroit schools or Wayne County schools to raise the flag. And so, so we are very excited to honor our veterans, the service that they provided for us, and let them know that we care about them and we think about them constantly.
Good luck with the celebration coming up on the 23rd.
23rd of September from 12 to 3 at the City County Building. Please come one and come all. We welcome you to the party.
All right, absolutely, in downtown Detroit. And I'm Chuck Stokes. That's all we have time for today. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.